Alright, hello guys, so today I'm gonna be showing you on how to make a code redeeming GUI or system so you can redeem codes like those other popular games where you usually find the codes in like groups or if you follow them on Twitter. So obviously you'll be able to enter the code like one time and there will be custom functions. So let's start off by making the actual GUI. I'll just make a screen GUI and ignore GUI inset on. And now I'm gonna just put in a text button. I'm also gonna rename, I wanted to rename it. There we go. I'm gonna rename it to like code redeem. Just so we know what it is. This, I'm gonna use a plugin, Autoscale Lite. You can find it by going to model, or was it home? Yeah, home toolbox. You can go to plugins and then search Autoscale. It's gonna be the third one for me. So yeah, I'm gonna use this unique conversion to convert it to scale. This pretty much makes it that the size will be same on all devices. So now and I'm just gonna kind of make it bigger or resize it, something like this. I'm gonna put it down here and I'm gonna customize it real quick. So I'll make like a blue background as something like that. I'm gonna add a border in here, 3 pixels, and the border is gonna be just pure black. Actually, let me try like the same color but darker. Might work. Yeah, sure. I'll keep it like that. I'll change the font to Gotham, and I'm gonna change the text to codes. I think that's what they usually are like named. Text color, I'm gonna keep it. Actually, I'm gonna make it white and add a black border. Okay, and I'm gonna scale it. Yeah, that looks, I'm not really the best artist, so it looks good to me. You probably want to make it better with like UI corners or custom images. Anyways, I'm gonna rename this into open, close. You don't have to rename it, but just, yeah, you'll need a path to this later anyways, so just remember the name. Anyways, this is our open close button. Now let's actually make the GUI where it tells you where to get the codes and where you can redeem them. So I think this is a reasonable size. Let me just put it in the middle. There we go. Maybe the border, I'll do this like 5. The background is gonna be like a really darkish tone. Let me pick this color and make it darker again. Yeah, it seems well fine. I'm gonna need redeem. This is okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just rename it to redeem. I don't think I converted it to scale, so let me do that. Okay, now let's first off add the info, so like it tells you where to get the codes. I'll just add in a text label, make the background not transparent. Then I'll leave it all center. Text color is gonna be white with a black border again, and this is gonna be Gotham SSM, and I'll scale it. Sure. Text is gonna be I mean, I don't have like a Twitter or anything, but I'll just do like follow OSS to get codes. Yeah, should be fine. Something like this, I guess. Okay, let me just make it a little bit smaller. Okay, that seems fine to me. Anyways, I'll just rename this into info. Doesn't matter what you name this, we're not gonna change it or use it. Anyways, now I'm gonna make a text box here, so you can enter the code, and then a submit button. So I actually have to convert this to scale as well. There we go. Now let's add in a text box. Alright, I'll move this to the middle and then just scale it. Not sure how big to make it. Something like this, I guess. Yeah, I think that's good. I'll rename this the code. Background transparency, I'm gonna choose the same background as before and make it darker. And the border, I'll make 3 pixels. And I'll just pick pure black. Okay. For the placeholder text, I'm gonna do enter a code, 3 dots. Placeholder color seems fine. I'm gonna make this Gotham SSM again. Bold. I guess I could do bold or italic. Yeah, I think that could be interesting. Yeah, I'll leave it italic. This, I'm gonna pick this same color as the background and make it slightly more lighter. Okay, that's our placeholder. That's what they will see. And now I'm pretty much gonna copy the settings and apply them for the text like before. So text color is gonna be white, black border. It's gonna be actually, I'm not sure if I want scaled. Yeah. So let me think of a code. So Alfredo. I do want it to be kind of bigger. Oh, it's gonna stay italic. Alright, I'll just not have it italic then. You could probably make a code, or add a function in the script to remove italic once you start writing. I want the player to type something about this size. Remove this. I'm gonna use this same plugin and add in a scale text constraint. There we go. And I think that's how we want it to look. Don't know if I converted it, so I'm gonna convert it again. And now let me just quickly test it out, see if it is same on devices. It seems about the same. This is still getting scaled. I'll see if a constraint fixes it later, but first let's add a button. So I'll do like a text button and move it to the middle like this. Change the text to submit. Text color is gonna be white with a black border again. Text scaled, Gotham SSM, and I'll make the background like greenish. The border, 3 studs. Pick the same color, make it darker. Something like that. Probably the nicest UI I ever made, which is quite pathetic. Anyways, I'm gonna rename this to submit, and this is pretty much our GUI done. I don't think there's anything else we can add. Oh wait, gotta convert this as well. Okay, wait, did I change the font to Gotham? Okay, I did. So this is our GUI done. There's nothing else for us to add, or for me to add. Obviously you can add more. Did I change info? Okay, I did. Just wanna check out what they look. Okay, so now I'm gonna add a constraint to all of them. So I just control and then press shift and click here and add constraint, which will add a constraint to all of them. This will help keep the original size. Let's check what it looks like now. As you can see, it looks way more held in shape, I guess you can say. Now, before we start making code system, let's make it so you can toggle this GUI on and off. This was like a fairly simple script, like 3 lines. So So let's make a local script in the open close. Rename this into open close script. Okay, so let's get to scripting the button. So let's detect if it is clicked by using the dot activated event. So script dot parent dot activated, but then you wanna connect to a function, and now we just wanna toggle the visibility. So there's a really easy way to do this without using if statements. Might be hard to understand, but after I type it out, you should understand it. Script.parent.parent.redeem.visible equals not. I'm just gonna copy this. It's just a pain to copy them. So pretty much it will set the visibility to the opposite bool value of the visible. So since it's false right now, it'll set it to true. It's pretty much impossible to explain. You just kind of understand it. But as you can see, we can toggle it. Works just fine. Obviously, you can add some fancy tween effects if you want to. I'm not gonna do that at the moment. So this is our button script. Now it's gonna be the second longest script. This is just gonna send out the information to our code manager. So I'm also gonna make a folder in replicated storage called remotes, and inside of here I'm gonna make a remote function, and I'm gonna call it like redeem code. Sure. Now inside of redeem I make another local script and code, I don't know, like manager. I'm gonna make a local variable for the remote function. So local remote equals game get service replicated storage. I'm gonna wait for the folder since it will most likely not be loaded in remotes, and then redeem code. There we go. We have our variable for the codes. Now we just need to make like a variable for the text box, and actually I'm not gonna make a variable for the submit. I just do one for the text box. Local code equals script.parent.code. There we go. So now let's check when the button was clicked. We want to send over that information to the server and check if it's an actual code. So script.parent.submit.activated. I want to connect to the function. There we go. So now we just want to pretty much fire this to the server, but since it's a remote function, it's gonna return something. So I'm gonna make a local what should I call it? I do like status equals remote invoke server. So the first parameter is gonna be player. That's gonna get put in there automatically. So we just need to send over the code.text. So this is gonna be the code that the player sends over. We can actually reduce the traffic on the server if you just check if there's an actual code written, so they can't just auto click. Probably they still can do like a macro or something, and that will still overflow the remote function or something. So if code.text is not equal to this, so nothing, then we're gonna invoke it. Else we'll just do, we'll add like a little debounce so you can't spam the button as well. So local deb equals false, and local deb wait time, I'll do like 0.5 seconds, so half a second. If deb then return end temp equals true. I'll explain this in a second. Task.wait, deb wait time, and deb equals false. So pretty much checking if deb is true, and if it is true, then it'll cancel the function and not run the code. Here, if it's not true, it'll set it to true, so you can't spam it, and then here it's gonna wait our time that we gave it, and after it's waited, it will set it to false again, which is a debounce. So now else it's gonna, I'll just do it so it like sets the text to red and says no code entered. Else code.text equals enter a code, and I'll also change color, so code dot, actually I changed it after, so it should still look instant. Code.text color 3 equals color 3. So I'll just enter RGB value, so I'll do from RGB 25500. So this is gonna be red. It's gonna be red. And then before we let the player press the button again, I'm gonna set the text to nothing, and I'm gonna set the color to white. Wait, that's black. Okay, 255. Copy this and put in all of the zeros. Now if we test it out, we should see that we're probably gonna get an error, but we should see that when we enter nothing, it says enter a code. Yeah, I think it could be something a little bit better, but I'll just keep it enter a code. Yeah, I'll just keep it like that. I'm just thinking like maybe I could add, not sure what the word is, but maybe enter like type something. I don't know, I'm just confusing you now. So status, I'm gonna make it so we return two values layer, so it's gonna be a color and a text. So we can just do code.text equals, we're gonna be returning a table with two values equals status 1. You'll understand this later, I'll explain it when we write it out. And this is gonna be status 2. This is our script done. Yeah, this is our code manager done. Now comes the actual code manager. I should probably rename this like code send, I guess. Not really a good name I can think of. So this is gonna be code manager. This is gonna be manage codes, take the codes in, check them and stuff. So first, let's make a variable for the same remote. That's all we need. Now let's just make a table that is gonna hold all of our codes. So I'll do like valid codes equals this table. Now this table is not just gonna hold variables, it's gonna hold functions. I probably haven't teach this in my scripting tutorial. I think I just teach how to store variables. But anyways, I'll do like we did before, Alfredo. It's gonna be a function, it's gonna take in the player. Oh wait, it wasn't like this. Alfredo is equal to function. Yeah, okay, it was like this. So now we can add our custom functions in here, which will be the code. So we actually don't have like anything the codes to do, or like if we want to like add money to player, we don't have anything like to add it to. So let's make a leisure set so we can give the player rewards. This will be really quick, I promise you. So game get service players, we want to take if a player joined, and if they joined we want to add a leaderboard to them. So local leader stats, this is going to be the folder that's going to hold all of the players money, cash and stuff. Make sure you write these first 3 lines out exactly like I do. equals instance dot new folder leader stats dot name equals leader stats. Make sure this all lowercase, and leader stats dot parent equals player. Now you can add your currency here. I'll do cash. It's gonna be a number value, instance dot new number value, and the name of it is gonna be cash. This was gonna be displayed on the leaderboard, and cash dot parent is gonna be leader stats. Alright, these are leader stats script. Test it out. We should see a leaderboard up there, and as you can see, attempt to index nil string with parent. Oh, cash dot name and name. There we go. Okay, now it will work. We have our cache there. Good. We won't be editing this anymore. So here we just do like player.leader.stats.cache.value plus equals, I'll do like 10k, and yeah, we'll leave it like this for now. We are gonna be adding more stuff here that will be needed soon. So now usually to detect if a player has already redeemed the code, you will use data source, and since we don't want to use data source every time someone clicks the button, we're gonna just whenever player joins, we're just gonna redeem their redeemed codes and store them in a table so we can easily check them. And every time the player uses code, we'll just enter that code into the table, and when they leave, we'll save that the codes they used to their data source. You probably didn't understand anything, but you'll see. First, let's get our data source. So we'll call DSS, so data source service equals game get service data source service, and let's actually get our data source. So local ds equals data source service get data source, the name of our data source. So I'll do like codes. Alright, let's also make the table which will hold all of the players in the game and all of the codes they redeemed. So local player redeemed codes equals table. Now let's add in our saving and loading. So game get service players dot player added connect function player. So we wanna just add them to the table. So to do that, we'll first off get their data. So local data equals, it's gonna be empty for now because we have to retrieve it and set it. And to do this, we're gonna use a p call, so it'll be safe. I'll do it one try only because I feel like codes are not that important, so we shouldn't waste data store requests on them. Equals p call function. Okay, so this pretty much a p call will just make sure when a code errors, your script won't crash. So data equals ds get async and the player dot user id. This will just set the data to our data variable. Now if success, then player redeemed codes, we'll do player redeemed codes square brackets player dot user id is equal to data. We have to actually check if data then might be their first time joining, so they don't have any codes redeemed, and if it is so, we're just gonna set it to an empty table like that. So they should start putting their names in here. let's quickly save the redeemed codes as well. So players dot player removing connect function player, and we should do local data equal to player redeemed codes player dot user ID. So this will grab the table with all of the codes that they have used, and then we're gonna store it. So ds set async player dot user ID and data. So this should work for saving our players used codes. Now let's actually like make the main functionality, which will give rewards, check if they have the code. So let's make a function redeem. This will take in a player and the code, and what the remote function will be calling this function. So remote dot on server invoke equals redeem. Remove the brackets. So pretty much whenever it sets the remote function to this function, so whenever this is called, it will just automatically call this. I have a video on remote functions if you do not understand. Now just need to check if the code is valid. So local chosen code is equal to valid codes code. So if it found a code, it's gonna set it to the code. Like yeah, it should set it to the code. So if we put Alfredo, and this variable should be Alfredo, and if it's not in here, it should be nil. So if not, or I mean if chosen code is equal to nil, then we wanna return. So later here we set the status to a table with two variables in it, a string and a color. So we just need to return a table with our string, so what message we want to display to the user. I'll do not a valid code, a comma, and the color that you want the text to be. So I'll do color3.new dot from RGB, and I'll make it red. So if it is not a code, it'll return this. So sorry, I was thinking of another thing to add, but I just realized we didn't need it. So if the script got to here, that means that the code is valid, and now we just wanna give the player the rewards. So we wanna give the player the rewards and set the and make sure to make sure to set the code in the player redeemed code, so they can't spam the code and get infinite money. So first off, let's add the used code to the player redeemed code. So table dot insert valid codes. It's gonna be the table that we want to insert it to, and then we want to enter the code in there. Yeah, actually we want to do valid codes player dot user ID and then the code, because this will store player user IDs, and those user IDs will store tables which store codes. So we need to access the player's code table. Actually, before we go on, we should detect if the players already used the code. So I'll do local has used equals false right now, and to check this we just have to loop through their code table. So for I, v in player redeemed codes, do if v is equal to So since we're gonna store them in here, it'll pretty much look something like square brackets 1 equals Alfredo if they have used it. So obviously the I is gonna be square bracket 1 or just 1, and V is gonna be Alfredo. So we need to check if V is equal to code, and if it is equal to the code, we'll just set has used to true. Actually, I think we can just return straight from here. Actually, I'll just do it like this, it'll be more simple. Let's just else if here. Else if has used, then we want to return our other message, code already redeemed. I'll keep it still red because I don't know what color should be there if it is used. So that's all of that done. We just need to give the player the reward now. So to give the player reward, we just call the function. So valid codes code. Actually, we can probably just do chosen code player, I think. Player, and this should work. And actually, since it's a remote function, we should also have to return the messages like we did here. So since you might want different messages, return messages, we're gonna enter them here and set this to a variable. So it's probably really confusing as well. So we'll do like returned. Actually, we should be able to just return this. So return this, and this will return a value that will get returned again. This is probably really confusing. I just realized we're returning 2 times. You understand it, hopefully. I'll just see if it works actually. Redeemed 10k, and this will be green. RG, okay, 255. This should work, I'm pretty sure. Also, make sure you go to game settings, security, and make sure enable studio access to API services is on. And I think this should work. There's probably gonna be an error though. My scripts never work first try. Oh, no error. Okay, let's enter like E, not a valid code. Okay, let's enter Alfredo. Go and clear this. Okay, table expected got an L. So this means the player user ID isn't there. Okay, let's print it. Let's print the redeemed player redeemed codes after we set the player in there, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, so it sets the table. I'm not sure why it won't allow me to set like a value in there. So, oh, valid codes, my bad. Player redeemed codes. There we go. This should work now. Okay, let's go in here and enter Alfredo. Redeem 10k, we have 10k as you can see. Let's enter it again. Okay, so it's not checking it correctly. Okay, so else if has used is true, so if v is equal to code. Okay, let's print has used code already redeemed. Okay, let's print has used and check that it's getting set to true. Alfredo redeemed 10k, false. Alfredo, false again. Why is it false? Okay, if v, okay, let me just like print redeem player redeemed goat player dot user ID. so we can see what's stored in there, since after we use it there should be Alfredo in there. Okay, one Alfredo. So it's getting stored. We're even saving it to the data store, but for some reason it's checking it. It's not in there. If v is equal to, okay, let's print v then. Oh my god, it's so annoying. Print v. Okay, this should print correct value. Alfredo. Wait, I'm looping through the wrong thing. Yep, I am looping through the wrong thing. It's player.user_id. I was just looping through all of the players in the table, not the actual player's redeem code. So now it'll work. We do Alfredo. Code already redeemed. We can check this again, since we have like 6 instances of Alfredo. We can just change the data store and it will store it to a new place, which means our data will be reset. And now if we put Alfredo, we redeem 10k. Alfredo again. Nope, code already redeemed. So this is how we make well, it's not really simple. Well, it's simple if you know how to script, kind of advanced thing, but yeah, if you're just beginning, it is probably complex, but yeah, it works. It's very flexible. You can like type out full scripts in the codes. Let's actually add another code. So like some games are like 5 trillion visits. Okay, is equal to function player. And now we just have to write our function. So we can do like player dot character dot humanoid dot. Actually, we can just do like player kick because and we still have to return or it will be an error. So I'll just do like kicked. Now if we enter 5 trillion visits, it will kick us. Over here, Alfredo should be redeemed. Yep. 5 trillion visits, because we got kicked. If we leave, we shouldn't be able to enter it again. So let me play again, and let me do 5 trillion visits. Code already redeemed. So see, it's very flexible. You can type custom commands in here. You can probably give the player like a sword and stuff. You can also check when the player joins if they have a certain code redeemed, so you can give them like a sword every time they join. So yeah, it's very, very flexible. It should have no flaws in it. You could do like a check in here to reduce the amount of times that you fire the remote function, but exploiters can read local scripts through bytes, so I wouldn't recommend it. It would have to be a predetermined exploiter then, though. Oh yeah, Roblox also implement like that Python thing as well. Help prevent exploiters. But yeah, that's everything for this video. As always, I'll leave all of the scripts. I'll upload them in Roblox, so you can just download them. So if you download them, you can just go to click on the 4 boxes here. This is your inventory, and then you can just find my downloaded thing. Like I just choose something old that I made, like teleport script. You can click on it and it will load it in. There it is. Yeah, so I leave it with like a folder. It'll have instructions in it where to place everything. And yeah, that's everything for this video. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.